everybody, welcome to Chicago. Here we are here. Chris, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in here. We'll see if we get a real live stream here. We'll see if we get anybody else joining in here. Yeah, we got June the 30th, 2025. Look at that flag on the Wrigley building here. We'll head right past it there. Yeah, it looks like we got a good live here. So thanks, Chris. Thanks for tuning in here. And we'll let other people join in. We got about 80 degrees, maybe a little above 80. It feels pretty good. There's a little breeze. And we'll head across Water Street. I'm going to head home. I know I just came into the downtown area here. I got some work done this morning, but I'm going to work from home in the afternoon. It's not because, there's a few rain clouds in the area, but I just want to work from home this afternoon. There's not many people in the office. And we'll probably head downtown a few more times this week, but sometimes I'll be working from home heading into the 4th of July here. Hey, isn't this so nice here heading up Michigan Avenue? You got the flag on the Wrigley building there. Ryan, how you doing there? Jose, how you doing there? Michael Rodriguez, yeah. Appreciate it. Denise, how you doing there? Lady T, yeah, thanks to everybody that joined in on the parade live stream yesterday. We filmed the Pride Parade there in Lakeview, Chicago. Hey, my mods were awesome. My moderator team. We got over 500,000 likes there on TikTok, 520,000 plus. We streamed for over 2.5 hours. And we were there with Ernie, Chicago Nuggies, and we covered the Pride Parade. What a great time there. And I still got more clips and reruns. I'm still cutting down footage from Wicker Park that we were at. We were Wicker Park in Bucktown on Saturday night. So many people tune in from that area of the city, and I don't get over there as often as I like. I want to make sure I document some of the stuff we saw there, like the actual statue there in Wicker Park, the Wicker. Charles Gustavus Wicker. Look at the dog here. Yeah, so here we'll probably have to wait to cross. That's okay. Maybe we'll cross to the other side of the street there to get this nice view. Hey, here's looking at Michigan Avenue. There's the Tribune. There's the Wrigley building. Got the flag. Happy 4th of July weekend we got coming up here. Nick Nori, how you doing there? Heather B. Oh yeah, the beach party on Friday. That was awesome. Thanks again to Nick and Sebastian for setting that up there. Diane, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in, Diane. Appreciate it. And Denise, Lady T, Rosa. Okay, so we'll head across here. Sorry, we're heading across Michigan Avenue here. There's the tall Trump Tower. We'll head up Michigan Avenue. Hey, the sun's coming out. It's kind of intermittent clouds here. Here's where the 4th Dearborn once stood here. We'll show you the little plaque here. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. How you doing?
Hey,
appreciate it.
How's it
It's
going?
good. Please let me continue my stream. I appreciate it. But how you doing? Let's go. Oh, so you just want to talk? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
what's your YouTube?
I'm Brian Really Chicago.
Brian Really Chicago.
Brian Really Chicago.
Brian Really
I'm on
Chicago.
TikTok. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's good. Thanks for staying low. That's good. So there's the psyops that the charity people they want to get on my nice side because they want to ask me for money. It'd be interesting if he was as nice if it wasn't, and it's all for a good cause. I'm sure it's interesting. I couldn't do what they do, just ask people over and over again for charity all day long here. But here, look at the nice view here. Look at that. So here, yeah, we got kayakers. We got the water taxi pulling out there. There's Olmed. Hey, the water taxi's gonna head over to Ogilvy there, maybe down to Chinatown. And there's the Wrigley building, the Chicago River Walk here. So here, let's just head up Michigan Avenue here. That's good. So, yeah, what's up with the South Side? What do you want to know about the South Side? We got plenty of footage on the South Side. I went down to the White Sox home opener. We went through Canaryville.
Hello.
We went through. How you doing? How you doing? Good. It's good. YouTube. So here's we go down to Hyde Park. We went down to, oh, they got the bridge up. Here, let's look at. We went down to Pullman. When's the last time you've been to Pullman? There, we got footage of Pullman. We got plenty of footage of the south side. I'm not heading down there because I live on the north side. I'm heading home here. Here's shoreline sightseeing. Yeah, they got the bridge up. It looks like they got the State Street Bridge in the upright position there. So, and here we'll try to. Every time I'm the one that's the tourist here, stopping to take pictures. I used to, for years, I would walk across this bridge and complain about people stopping to take photos, and now I'm the live streamer blocking other people's paths. Hey, working out there, that's good. Carrying the weights there while he's jogging there. Okay, yeah, so again, I said it ad nauseum. I know it's easy to misunderstand. The Chicago lifts the bridges in the spring and the fall. They don't do it in the summertime. And this has nothing to do with the sailboats. Here goes Olmet. They have a schedule that they post, but the website's not reliable. Again, we talk about that, where they confirm the bridge lifts and not. They only do it from the end of April through May through the beginning of June. Then they stop the regular bridge lift schedule. They don't do it all through the summer. It's just to let the sailboats out into the harbor, and then they reverse it in the fall. So there'll be other chances to see the bridge lifts in the fall, the ones for the sailboats. But now most of the sailboats, if all the sailboats are in the harbor now, and this has to do with construction. And here, look at this great view we get of the Jewelers Building, the Mather Tower, the London House. Every time I stick my finger in there, it gets blurry. We got kayakers coming by here. And there's the State Street Bridge in the upright position. How's everybody doing here? Hey, that's good. That's Van Sky. How you doing here, Matt? Yeah, the boats are nice there. Ernie's tuning in there. How you doing there, Ernie? Yeah, thanks for, did you make it home okay yesterday there? Yeah, I vegged out on the couch. I didn't do anything the rest of the day. So I'm heading home. I'm gonna work from the afternoon from home here. I got stuff in my backpack here, so there's, hey, here's the Tribune. The Intercontinental Hotel used to be the Medina Athletic Association. We're underneath the Wrigley Building. There's the Sky Bridge that connects the two. And you got some sushi from Walgreens. Hey, there you go. That's some quality sushi there, yeah. Hey, it works. Hey, that's good. Yeah, Lamby Teed. Deontay, how you doing there? It was scheduled for the 29th. Okay, so good. So it was scheduled. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't lift it either. That's a good question there. You got me there. Sorry about that, but yeah, you never know. This city is the city that works even when it doesn't. But hey, we'll head up Michigan Avenue here, Plaza of the Americas. Look, see, you take your picture with the wings there. It's exactly how you do it. It lines up with the Benito Juarez statue there, Plaza of the Americas. Wings over Mexico, wings of Mexico. See, here's how you do it. You stand up there with the wings, you get the photo. It lines up with the Benito Juarez statue there. Look at that. See, just like that. Wings of Mexico, Plaza of the Americas. Jorge Marin. There it is. The artist there. And they had all the Frida statues there. Ernie got some good footage of it. So did Edwin. That was earlier this year. It wasn't for Cinco de Mayo, but it coincided with that week. And we all documented it there. Hey, yeah, thanks for tuning in there. United States of America, yeah. One rare gemstone here. Christopher's tuning in there. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Christopher. Hope you had a good weekend there. Gonna be in Chicago Wednesday for the Field Museum in Chinatown. Hey, that's gonna be good. It's a great week. The city comes alive. You know, summertime, especially around the 4th. There's so many things coming up there. Not just NASCAR. We got 4th of July celebrations, and I know people have been asking about the fireworks. It looks like they're gonna be on Saturday, the 5th, not the 4th. I know it's gonna be really confusing, but there'll be plenty of fireworks all around the city on the 4th, I'm sure. Yeah, Othello, you've been warned. It's you know, Everybody wants to play their games, get me to say something that funny there, you know. What do you have any questions about Chicago? Any thing about what I'm filming right here? I think I'm gonna regret the next thing you're gonna ask here, but hey, we'll give you a chance. You get one more chance. We do have mods, and we will use them. Okay, so again, please don't rely on me for streaming fireworks or anything like that. There's so many other great Chicago live streamers. You know, I got so much going on this weekend because, okay, number one, some of my relatives are going to be heading into town. Matthew, he's got a bunch of tattoos. He likes the anime. We might, on the 4th, we might, which is Friday, we might head up to Logan Square, tootle around. I don't know if any of the anime shops will be open on the 4th. Maybe that might be a bad day to do it. The reason is that the 5th and 6th, July 5th and 6th, I will be streaming the NASCAR. I got a ticket, standing room only. My cousin knows about it. I bought it before I knew he was coming to town. I said, you know, you guys will have to be on your own while I'm at the NASCAR because I don't think they're going to go in. So they'll they'll probably just be laying at the beach or something. But yeah, we'll be doing some live streaming, but I want to spend time with family. I want to go to NASCAR, and that's on Saturday and Sunday. Fridays, of course, the 4th here. We're looking down Michigan Avenue here. We'll go head straight up to Rush Street, and we can walk through the zoo on my way back because the zoo's open now. The Lincoln Park Zoo, that's where we're heading. Yeah, NASCAR. Yeah, we'll look for the basketball guy. That's a good point. Usually we see him. I see his pattern. He usually bounces the basketball up Michigan Avenue and goes to Ohio Street Beach. We'll see if we see him coming through here. He's seen us before, and we've captured him a few times here on the lives, usually on YouTube here at lunchtime. There used to be a guy named the High Guy that rode a bike up Michigan Avenue. Anybody remember the High Guy? He had like high.com. He ran marathons. He was notorious for running marathons barefoot. He would put his stats on his webpage high.com, and he would ride a bike straight up Michigan Avenue in the morning and say hi to everybody. But I haven't seen that guy in years, and I hope he's doing well. Yeah, Chicago Street Course, that's what they're setting up for now. Maybe later in the week. Some other people, I saw some other Chicago live streamers were streaming the course, showing the grandstand setup. They got a lot of street closures. I want to try to get it later this week when the haulers come in. And I don't know if they're going to come in. A lot of times they come in the 4th or the 3rd because they come in the middle of the night. The haulers for NASCAR, they'll come through there. And but here, Michigan Avenue and Ontario. Hey, we'll cross the street here. We'll probably cross the Michigan Avenue a few times. There's the La Katrina statue. We're at Michigan and Ontario. There's the RIU Hotel. It has the glass bottom balcony there at the top. If you're brave enough to stand on that balcony, look straight down. It's only 28 stories. It's not the 103 stories if you go to the Sears Tower. But here, the Magnificent Mile here. They got the nice landscaping here, and there's the La Katrina statue. We're by the Flores Mexicanos. There's La Katrina. There she is. Look at that. See that statue there. So here, hey, we got the light here. Let's cross. Hey, look at the towers of Michigan Avenue. Nice clouds. Pleasant temperature. It doesn't feel as, I don't know. For some reason, it feels better now than it did when I walked. It was like balmier or humid or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not hot yet. Oh, that's good. That's good. One rare gemstone. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be streaming. I'll be streaming with my. That's a good question there. Yeah, I always get nervous because I'm used to people asking me to go cover certain things or why I don't do this or why I don't do that. You know, it's just people making conversation. I know you, One Rare Gemstone. You're part of the lunch bunch here. This is great. Here's the giant Starbucks. If you watched on TikTok, this is the same course we did here. We just did it on a different platform. But it's nice to get it. I finally figured out how to stream with better resolution here on YouTube. There, Ferragamo. So here we'll cross the street again, and we'll check out this giant Starbucks here, Michigan Avenue. Yeah, there it is. Great, used to be Crate and Barrel, Erie in Michigan. Hey, there's Michigan Avenue looking south here, Chicago, Illinois. Beautiful day here. We got 12:13 in the PM, low 80s. Maybe we're going to get up to the upper 80s. Good to see people. Yeah, taking pictures here. That's great. Yeah, that's a nice shot there in front of the giant Starbucks here. You can go to the 5th floor. They got a rooftop terrace there. Hey, we'll head past the Harry Potter store. Hey, Dolores is tuning in there. Hassan, you're tuning in from the UK. That is great. Town of Slaw. Am I saying that right? That's good. Man, Denise, how you doing there? Denise, Dolores? How's everybody doing there? Yeah, thanks, Raccoon there. Matt S. Storage Drive. Yeah, see, it's almost like being here. Is the resolution good? Yeah, it looks good in the sun here. Look at all these beautiful people in their summer clothes here. Yeah, here's the Harry Potter store, the Patronus Stag. This is one of the 3 Harry Potter stores that I know of in the world besides the ones in Orlando where they got the theme park, but they got the Harry Potter store here, Chicago, Illinois, Michigan Avenue. It's at Huron in Michigan. And yeah, they're going in there to check it out there. We got many reruns. You go in there and how you doing, Project? How you doing, Project? That's good. How you doing? Thank you. That's good. And oops, here comes the Humvee. He's trying to get me. Now, I was in the wrong there. They had the right of way. And I was trying to get away from they were nice guys there. They're probably asking for funds for their basketball team or something. Or sometimes it's about the drummers there on front of the Art Institute. You see people in front of Nike Town, they'll have a piece of paper and they're like, hey, look at this piece of paper, and it's for a charity cause, you know. So they're just looking for funds. Got the captive audience here on Michigan Avenue. It's not really captive, it's just people walking down the street. That's why I saw Marty Mayora was in Battery Park last week, and he goes, 95% of the people are tourists. He goes, New Yorkers don't hang out in Battery Park, and he's probably right, because there's not that many people that live down there at the tip of Manhattan. You know, it's all corporate Wall Street stuff. There is a few people that live in the residences over there by the Hudson, over by the new World Trade Center buildings there. They were there. I've actually been in some of those buildings. Here's the John Hancock, Michigan Avenue here. We just crossed Superior. There was the one Chicago Tower. Lou at Gino's East is half a block east of us here. So yeah, Lady T, go to my TikTok, pinned to the top next to my face. There's 3 videos at the top of my TikTok. One of them's on 63rd Street where I ride underneath the Green Line. It's only gotten 180 likes. I rode a bike under the Green Line. I raced it like French Connection there, the movie. Give that a like, please. And then the second one is actually the King Von mural there at O Block. So please, you know, I literally have like more people asking me about O Block than check out my videos. And when I go down there, no one sees the videos, no one watches it, no one gives it a like. You know, there's a few people, they put nice messages in the comment. They say, hey, thanks for documenting this. Thanks for taking the time to go down to 63rd, 64th MLK. On my own time, I took the Green Line. I rode a bike there. I talked to the people that actually live in Parkway Gardens. They said, what are you doing down here? They said, we don't want TikTok live streamers filming this. Actually, the people that lived there that dealt with the gang violence between the gangster disciples and the black gangster disciples, the gangland violence that plagued that area. We can talk about the racist history of the past there. People's eyes glaze over. So you bring up O Block, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the full history of the area here. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll go by, here's the water tower. There's the John Hancock. Yeah. So Lady T, yeah, just go to my TikTok, pinned to the top. I don't know how to make it any easier. Just like how people say they don't know what I look like. There it is, pinned to the top of my page. You know, you can lead a horse to water. You can't force it to look at it. You know, it's right there. There's nothing stopping anybody from seeing any of this content. It's just that we all don't know how to use the formats, you know, and I understand. I'm the same way. I got in a group chat, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. On Saturday, I had to exit a live and start a new one. I didn't know what I was doing. Here's the water tower. Here's the Great Water Tower of Chicago. Look at this. Look at that. Look how it looks in the sun here. We got the fountains here. And look at that. Here, let's head around here. All these photographers. Here's where the horses used to get a drink here. And here's the water fountain. I'm going to get a drink of water myself here. I will show you the park high. You can see George Lucas up there. Was he George Lucas has the top 2 floors of the Park Hyatt here. Paul Stewart, and there's Canada Goose. Here, Pearson in Michigan. Hey Chad, how you doing there? Mr. PayPal, there you go. Yeah, hope you're cashing in there. What time is it? 12:19 in the PM. 12:20, 12:21. What time is it where you're at? Thanks for tuning in here. Everybody doesn't know how to use time. How do we find anything? You call somebody in a different time zone. What time is it? You woke me up in the middle of the night. I don't know how to change and adjust for the time zone. I know people are confused. We're an hour behind New York City, 2 hours ahead of Los Angeles. Yeah. Yeah, 10:20 on the West Coast. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in from the West Coast. We got a lot of friends there. Anita, our friend Anita, had a birthday there on Friday there, so happy belated birthday to Anita there. And thanks everybody for wishing her a good one. I hope she had a good weekend there, and hope her father's doing okay, recovering there. And yeah, look at that church here. This is the seminary. And hey, bouncing the basketball. How you doing here? It's great. Today we saw a different guy bouncing the basketball. It's good. Here, let's cross the street here. Yeah, we'll show you this beautiful round window for this is the Quigley Center, the Archbishop Quigley Center here. This is on Pearson and Rush Street, Chicago, Illinois here. Look at that amazing window there. Yeah, they had the morning black bunting there for the late Pope, and then when Pope Leo the 14th there, they changed it there. Chicago Pope. Bentley Gold Coast there. Rolls Royce. It's hard to see in the windows. So here we go. So sometimes on weekends, yeah, they got some cars parked up, but here's a Rolls Royce convertible. Here's a Rolls Royce convertible. And here's a Lamborghini parked on the street here in front of the Lamborghini Gold Coast here. People take test drives here. Look at that cobalt blue, powder blue Lamborghini parked out here on Rush Street. And there's the Lamborghini Gold Coast Rolls Royce. You got the car elevator there. Here, we'll show you the Rivian store here. Yeah, look at this amazing seminary here, the Quigley Center. There's a statue there. You can see up to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel is below the housing. The housing's at the top of these towers here. Yeah. Yeah, this is really angering you, Byron. We're showing you this expensive touristy area of Chicago. There's very impoverished areas of Chicago with high crime, and there's very expensive areas of Chicago also with high crime. And look at the John Hancock. You know, you can hate me all you want that it's free to walk down the street. I of course walk through some of the most touristy, expensive areas of Chicago, but it's literally my route from where I live to where I work. I work in the Michigan Avenue, so you can imagine how expensive it is to live off of Michigan Avenue, even to pay corporate rents there. I work for an architecture and engineering firm, And I live in Lincoln Park. Again, one of the most expensive neighborhoods of Chicago. I'm not going to apologize for where I live and where I walk through. I do make an effort to go to other areas of the city. I have over 260 videos from the south and west side, the true south and west side. I filmed Fred Hampton's address where he was murdered by Chicago police on the west side. I filmed the Shameless House in Lawndale. I don't have to give you my bona fides. I've done the Little Village, 26th Street. I've gone by the Cook County Jail. I've gone through Hyde Park, Pullman, Bronzeville, and Garfield Park on the west side. You know, what have you done? Are you posting any video of Chicago's? Please, we need more Chicago live streamers showing all areas of the city. And there's Tesla store. We went by the Rivian here. Here we're heading up Rush Street. This serves a purpose. I would be doing this commute whether I'm live streaming or not. There's the Trump Tower. You can look straight down Wabash. This is a giant parking garage here behind the Bloomingdale's Mall there, 900 North Michigan. Jack Cremello Way. Yeah. What you miss? What you miss, Chad? You looking for something? There's the John Hancock. See, we got videos on TikTok where we went to the top of that on Thursday. Some of my relatives were in town, and that's usually the only time I go up there is when friends or relatives come out of town and they want to see an observation deck. It's beautiful up there. I'm glad we documented it. Thanks again to the staff that let me film in the tilt there. That was great. But here, we'll just head up Rush Street. And yeah, thanks everybody. What's shaking there? Yeah, isn't that nice, Chad? See, you get some ideas. Yeah, there's something to do in the Midwest. Imagine that. And there's places that go outside of Chicago. You know, we've got beautiful we've gone to Gar of the Gods there, the Shawnee National Forest in southern Illinois. I hope to get to Milwaukee. I mean, I guess I'm missing Summerfest. It's probably already over mostly. And here, we'll head through here. Lululemon. This used to be Gino's. Remember Gino's East, the pizzeria? This used to be a Chicago-style pizza place, but I think it closed down about 20 years ago. I remember eating there when I lived here. There's the Versace, Dior, Brunello Cucinelli here, Glossier, Madewell, Celine, Oliver Peoples, all these. We went down Oak Street this morning. Hey, they got the hanging baskets here, Rush Street. We're north end of River North. We're starting to head into the Gold Coast here. Yeah, give pizza a chance. Give pizza a chance there. Hey, get pineapple. Yeah, I've had pineapple pizza. It's not my favorite, but some people like it for a change there. Krista, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Oh yeah, Dolores. Yeah, I filmed the building where Al Capone bought it in 1923. It was in Grand Crossings. Or, you know, that's the house where his wife and mother lived. And yeah, that's about 8 blocks south of O Block there. It's you got to go by South Chicago Avenue where it starts there. But here's we're at Rush and Oak Street. It's actually on Prairie Avenue, Al Capone's historic residence there on the south side of Chicago. It's got a nice yard. It's all those streets too on Prairie Avenue and Grand Crossing there. So here, Rush Street. Now I'm starting to feel the humidity. Now I'm starting to sweat. There's Avalon Rush, Gibson's. We'll see if anybody's sitting out at Mariana Park. Good thing about walking home this time of the day, the zoo's open, so we can walk straight through the zoo. We can see if the flamingos are out. And we'll just head straight up through the Gold Coast. We'll probably head straight up State Street past the Playboy Mansion and go past the Lincoln statue and head on into Lincoln Park there. There's a Corvette valeting right here in Gibson Steakhouse here. We went by Hugo's Frog Bar. There. You know, let you park your car for a fee. Everything for a price. Our kingdom for a price here. How you doing? So here, there's Tavern on Rush, the Thompson Hotel here. There's Bellevue. There's Whispers in Mariana Park. It wasn't open this morning, but it's open now. And yeah, people sitting out here. The fountain's on here. Whispers. This is Mariana Park, Rush Street, where Rush and State converge here, makes this triangle. See, look, they got the gelato. Whispers, they got this fountain. You can put your feet right up here on the fountain. Yeah, there's people, friends, family sitting out here enjoying the tables here. Mariana Park. Yeah, there's Dublin's Bar and Grill across the way there. And what a nice, pleasant spot there. Hopefully Carmine's will open this fall. We keep asking when it's going to open. They're adding a retractable roof to the top. There's above the On Cloud Federer store there. Hey, the Department of Finance, watch out. Hey, look at these pigeons. How you doing there, pigeons? I didn't mean to mess you up there. Hey, thanks whoever posted that video. There was a pigeon on a plane of a wing, and it was about to take off, and that pigeon tried to stay on. It made it about 10 seconds before it got blown off the wing. It was acting like it was going to launch with the plane. There's no way. Could cling on. Here's Lou Malnati's. So here we're at Cedar Street. Yeah, this is going to be a bank here. Daco's tuning in there. Yeah. Bullying coworker, that's the worst. Man, Monday. Yeah, the greenery there.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, I'm not Private Jose. I'm not sure what you're asking there. Most of the time when you're live streaming, you're just confused. I don't understand what the question is there, but maybe it's my I can't comprehend. Yeah, Taco, how you doing there? Hope you had a good weekend there. Yeah, thanks again to everybody that watched the Pride Parade there yesterday. That was amazing. 520,000 likes, and we had several hundred people in the chat. Ernie was streaming it. We saw an engagement proposal right in front of us, and I almost missed it. I didn't really film it as best as I thought I could, but I was taken by surprise. The crowd went nuts when they saw it. Oops, sorry. And here, we'll get across the street here. We're at Elm Street. There's the Hangy Uppy. Yeah, let's cross the street here. This is State Street looking south. State and Rush diverge from each other here. There, they got a nice view. You get to the John Hancock. Look at those clouds. Yeah. Here, we'll head around here. Yeah, I know, Ernie, you caught us by surprise there. I think everybody was caught by surprise. That was, and one of the people, the woman that was on her knee, she had her leg in like a walking cast, and then she was jumping up and down. And I was like, wow, that's a good walking cast there. She was walking in the parade in that thing too. Yeah, a friend of mine, his girlfriend, she had one of those, and she was walking all around with it too. I was amazed. Hey, look how they got, yeah, the painting there. You see that? You can see that painting at the Art Institute of Chicago. They got it at the Tea House, Chicago Tea House here. Just another manic Monday. You got it. So here, we'll see if we can get across the street here. So here we're back at State Division here. We'll wait for the left turns. Nobody turning left, so we should be good to go here. We'll follow this guy. Seems like he knows what he's doing. Yeah, look at that beautiful, above the CVS, they kept that storefront there and that beautiful turret on the side there. Stained glass windows. So here's the Andrew Rabori Art Moderne there. We'll see two of them. There's another one further up. Rare Art Moderne built in 1936 here right on State Street. It has a glass block. And it's like a courtyard building there, residential. And Andrew Rabori, pretty prolific architect, beginning of the 20th century and even the end of the 19th century. His career spans several decades, several architectural styles. Look at that Art Moderne building there. It's 1209 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois. We'll head up State Street here. Canterbury Court Apartments. Oh, right here, Canterbury Court Apartments. See, the Zebra Lounge Piano Bar, is this still open? It's kind of like Mother's. They got piano bar there. Furnished studios and 1 bedrooms here. Live in this apartment building. Hey, Lady T, I'm glad you saw it there. Nashville. Yeah, let's go to Nashville. I'd love to film some of the bachelorette parties there on Nashville, the party nights. Hey, we'll just head through the Gold Coast here. We're heading home. I'll work from home this afternoon. So we're State Street, north of the Vision. Look at these nice, this nice block of residential Italianate. Hey, look at the bikes. A big group of bikes heading up. What a nice day to just take a bike ride up through the Gold Coast there. Look at the mansard roof over there. They got a Sphinx. A lot of these places they got. Look at the hanging baskets on that porch there. You got the ferns, the nice landscaping. They can almost have the maze-like hedges there. See the artwork they got in the front lawns there. Prince, how you doing there? Jefferson Santos, thanks for tuning in from Brazil. Awesome. Naya, what's shaking there? You got your wrinkles ironed out. That's good. Scotland, Ronnie, yeah, thanks for tuning in, Ronnie. Yeah, you've been tuning in from Scotland. That's great. We'll have to take you to the Duke of Perth sometime, or by there. We went by there yesterday, but the parade was going on, so I didn't even mention it. The Duke of Perth was on the parade route there yesterday for the Pride Parade in Chicago. Hey, I like the flags there. Chital, how you doing there? So here we're at Goethe and State Street. There's the Ambassador Hotel. That used to be the Pump Room, the famous restaurant where like the Rat Pack and celebrities from the 50s and 60s would hang out. I think the Winston Churchill stayed in this hotel back when he was around. And here we'll head up State Street, Gold Coast, Chicago. We got 12:36 in the PM, and we got about low 80s. Pretty pleasant day here. So that's why we're taking advantage of it and doing some live streaming on my way home here. Southside, how you doing there? Yeah, Cermak and Damon, that's awesome. Parade was great. Pretty positive vibes. And we were able to stream it. I was worried about maintaining a constant stream there, but we were able to do it there. We got over 520,000 likes on TikTok. And tens of thousands of people streamed in and out of that thing as we covered it, and Ernie was covering it. There was other live streamers up there. We've covered it the last 2 years. Again, I did it as an ally. I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, but I was happy to show the world as it exists, things that go on in the city, part of the diversity and what makes Chicago and other cities interesting. It's not all monoculture. Here's another Art Moderne. This is a Art Moderne. I think it's Andrew Rabori as well. There's a plaque here. I'll show it to you again. I want to show the plaque here. It's called the Florsheim House. Andrew Rabori, Edgar Miller. This morning we went by the Carl Street Studios there, the Opal Studios there on Burton Place. Edgar Miller was part of the Carl Street Studios there. Bertrand Goldberg, do you recognize that name? He did the Marina Towers, the Corn Cob buildings, Marina Tower, Marina City, and the neonatal center that has been torn down in Streeterville. This is Andrew Rabori with let me make sure I say it. Look at that glass block there. This is a classic. I think this was built in the 1938. Edgar Miller, Andrew Rabori, the Florsheim House. Okay, you can look to the back. See, they would do those. The other one down there has the same thing. It has on the side. You can get to the back and the side of the building, so you can use the deep lot. Yeah, we got a lot of praise there, Sharon. Yeah, that's good. It is. That's awesome. Taco. Yeah, thanks everybody tuned in there and saw that. Yeah, thanks Yumang Mystery. How you doing there? Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Ronnie. So here's the original Playboy Mansion. So this is, Hugh Hefner bought this in 1959 and moved up from Hyde Park. He started his publishing empire in Chicago. At one time, the Palm Olive building there north of the John Hancock said Playboy. This is now they've divided up into private residences here, condos, and several people live in the former Playboy Mansion here on State Street. It's in the 1300 block of State Street between Banks, south of Schiller. That's good. That's good. Glass block? Man, that's good. Yeah, structural glass. Glass block's good because it's hard to break. You can use it like bricks. It's structural glass, so it can support weight, and it lets in light, but it doesn't. Most of it, it's hard to see through it. A lot of it's smoky, opaque, you know, frosted glass there, so it lets light through, but it can be like a privacy screen. But there's negatives to glass block as well. You can't open it. Oh, I can't open this window. It's too thick. Positive, negatives to everything. Here, see, here's some of the mid-century modern condo housing that replaced some of these, you know, land would change hand. They would tear down the old mansion and build this stuff. Go as high as they could go to get some lake views or city views. Put the parking underneath. But there's some more human scale residential 4 and 5 story apartment blocks here. It's too thick. See, everybody, my mind goes straight to the gutter too. I know. That's what she said. Florida, how you doing there? Zen Crystal, how you doing? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, if those rooms could talk. Like I said, I'm humbled every time. Like sometimes I'll bring up something about the Prohibition, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, something. We'll find the real families that are still related to the real people that were part of that. The granddaughter of Jaime Weiss was tuned in once. She says that Jaime Weiss was her grandfather. I was like, oh man. And same with the Playboy Mansion. Several times I'd be streaming the Playboy Mansion. Former Playboy playmates that were in the magazine. They were watching and they said, yeah, I've been inside there. You know, I've been in the Playboy Mansion when Hugh Hefner lived there, when Shel Silverstein lived there. And yeah, if those walls could talk, we were trying to get him to do stories there. But here, look at the beautiful flowers here. Hey, they got the patriotic pinwheel there. Look at this Queen Anne style, over the top Victorian facade here. And on State Street, this one is a Victorian. This is what I call the Webster House. You ever seen the sitcom Webster in the 80s with Emmanuel Lewis and what was his name, George Papadopoulos or whatever his name was, Mungo from Blazing Saddles? He was in there. This is the dad. Emmanuel Lewis was the kid there. Webster. This is the Webster House here on State Street. And look across the way. Look at these amazing, beautiful brownstones and graystones. Look at the flowers. Wow, look at the pansies here in the Planet Median here in front of the 1440 condo building. The landscaping is just spectacular. If I cut a block over, I'll cut a block over so we can walk past those houses with the curved stairs. And yeah, more character. Yeah, all these buildings have character here. So here, if you just joined, we're in the Gold Coast of Chicago. We're on State Street. We're just south of Schiller. We're south of Lincoln Park. We're going to walk through Lincoln Park, the actual park, through the zoo. I'm heading back to my apartment. And we went downtown there. And we may head back downtown later this week, but I'm kind of ease into the 4th of July here. Yeah, this is an interesting building. So there's one of the McCormick mansions over there. We did Astor Street last week. And in the morning on our way to work here. Here's, I think this is Schmidt. This is a contemporary of Frank Lloyd Wright. You'll notice how this is This was 1905, 1900 to 1905 when this was built. Look at the amazing detailing. It's like something you would see Louis Sullivan or Frank Lloyd Wright, but it's not. It's called the Graham Foundation. That's who owns this now. It's 4 West Schiller Street. No, I take that back. 4 West Burton, just west of State Street here. Here it is, Chicago landmark. I read it, said it, well, Albert F. Madler House, the architect I got right. Richard E. Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T, architect. Hugh Garden. Look at this garden here. We did the Dearborn Garden Walk. They got a bunch of architectural relics in there, and we were able to see some of them. And I think they took some of them in. But here's the Albert F. Madler House, 1902. And see, Chicago Prairie Schools of Architecture. He was a contemporary of Frank Lloyd Wright. And this is the Albert F. Madler House, now owned by the Graham Foundation. And they see how they got some architectural elements preserved that were destroyed from other important sites throughout Chicago over the years here. So we'll head over to Dearborn Street and we'll head right into Lincoln Park here. Yeah, Chicago. Thanks, Denise, Steve-O. Orlando, how you doing there? Yeah, we got all kinds of people tuning in. Montana, what's MT? That's okay, Ernie. That's fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. Ernie, don't worry about it. Yeah, I know how to block people on YouTube. Thanks for all your help there. It's no problem. We were doing it last week when I was in the West Loop. I had to block that agriculture guy. He just wanted to have a battle. He was like relentless. He just kept coming back, and I was like, lay off, dude. Take a chill pill, man. You know? All politics all the time. I'd film a squirrel, he'd be like, is that a Trump squirrel? No, it's just a squirrel. Hey, look at this Richardsonian Romanesque here. Yeah, let's head up Dearborn Street. This is nice. Thanks for tuning in here. Michael, hey, perfect timing, Michael. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, I know. No, I don't. I'm running you guys ragged here. We did that parade yesterday. Thanks for all your help. I don't expect you got other stuff to do. I know. I completely understand. Ernie's got work. You got grass to mow. There's always something going on. Here's the Houghton. Here's the Houghton here. We're on Dearborn Street. You know where we're at here. We're at the north end of Dearborn Street towards North Avenue. This is the north end of Gold Coast. See across the way, look at those amazing brownstones, townhomes here. Yeah, this is all multi-million-dollar residences. But some of them, you know, they got gardenable, they split. Look at the curved staircases here. And look how nice the landscaping is here. Look at the flowers, the urns. This is Better Homes and Gardens. Look at those Italian facades here. And here they're working on this. This one, Suzanne. You talk to her, it's on the market here. Look how you can go this way, that way, the curved staircases. Look at the pansies, beautiful flowers here. Dearborn Street, walking the dog here. Yeah, see, he's working on it right there, all the constant maintenance and upkeep. And that's why we talked to our friend Fred here, who has been with the Houghton building for decades, literally. That's the type of person, such a valuable amount of information about this area. Cutting and pruning, that's good. Yeah, it's hot. It's gonna be hot all week. Today might be the coolest day of the week. It's gonna warm up steadily towards the 4th. So here, 1534 North Dearborn here. Look at these amazing facades and porches. And see the Latin school's over there. There's the elementary school. And then the school owns that mansion. That used to be a private residence, 2 lots wide, but now the school owns it. It uses it for offices. And there's the middle school for the Latin school, and then the high school is a half a block over there on Clark Street. Latin school, private school. But hey, we got beautiful sunshine. We'll be able to film the flowers here. We'll go right past the Lincoln statue in Lincoln Park. And we'll head up towards the South Pond. We'll see if we see any nature. I could go by the duck house, but we'll save that for later in the week. We usually go by Eugenie. We'll check out the ducks later in the week. Don't worry. I just want to get home here. I'm already 12:48. There might be a stray shower in the area. There's these big puffy clouds, but what a beautiful day here. Yeah, we can go over to that fountain there. But here, we'll cross the street here. Airmail. Yeah, look at the flowers here. So there's the constellation there. That's Schwartzman. Schwartzman's the architect of that. That's a classic mid-century modern. And imagine how modern that looked in the late 50s, early 1960s when that was built. Here's Lincoln Gardens. 1989 here. Look at the flowers. We got this planet meeting here. See the school and the preschool. They come out here and get some recess. This park we share. Wow, look at Lincoln Park. Look at the flowers here. Summertime in the city. We'll go by the back side of the History Museum. They got some nice naturalistic plantings all around here. Thanks for staying on, everybody. We'll just get you some scenes of Lincoln Park here. We just walked through the Gold Coast here. And yeah, I don't usually stream in this area on YouTube too much. This is good. We're getting some footage here. Here's the history. Last year, near end of the summer, beginning of the fall, we went inside. There was a nice historical exhibition about protest posters, and we went in there and caught a tour. That video is still on the reruns there. It's in landscape. But here's some of the naturalistic plantings here. You see they got the rocks, and you can walk through there. You got this trellis. See, all throughout the summer and fall, different perennial plantings come out and different flowers bloom throughout the whole season. And so it's just a constant changing painting of flowers. It's so beautiful. And they rent out this plaza. Sometimes they'll have weddings or corporate events. They'll have catered stuff, sometimes bands and stuff. All these museums, you can, for a fee, if the price is right, you can rent them out. And this is the Chicago Historical Society here. It used to be down on Dearborn where the Excalibur, where now it's Dow. But moved up here in the 30s. Here's, what will your legacy be? Yeah, Margaret Burroughs, Dr. Margaret Burroughs, a Chicago artist, writer, educator, co-founder of the DuSable Museum of African American History. There she is. So see, yeah, we've been by there in Washington Park. There's the DuSable Museum of African American History, and complements this history museum. We got several history museums. Think of that. Move from Hazard. Oh, that's good. Big town to Hazlet, Michigan. Yeah, you can look it up there on the map here. So here, let's head around. Which way do we want to go here? Yeah, let's head over towards Clark for a second. We'll still stick by the park. This way I'll be able to, maybe we could check out the farm and the zoo. And then we'll go over to that nice bridge, and then we'll head into the zoo. We'll go this way. Here's the, hey, there's squirrels and the pigeons. Oh, the squirrel's got something in its mouth there. How you doing there, squirrel? The pigeons are pecking. So this is the couch tomb here. Let's check it out. Got some flowers here. You're coming to find me there? Hey, let's say hello there. I hope you're not coming to beat me up. Beat me up, Scotty. How you doing? Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm easy to find. You just watch my stream there. You can ambush me however you want. Come and get me. Here's the couch tomb. Here's the couch tomb. One of the last reminders of when this was a cemetery. It's a mausoleum here. They exhumed most of the bodies. This thing talks about it. Thriving Park Reef Stand. It was once a city cemetery. In the 1860s, city officials began relocating the graves further away, but the couch tomb remains. See, there it is. Jennifer You Should Eat talks about this all the time. We'll head over here to Clark Street. We'll hang out with the squirrels. Yeah. 100 people. Yeah. That's good. Oh, I know. That's why. I know. I don't know if people joke around. At first they would freak me out. People would be like, I'm right behind you, I'm stalking you. And they like, people would always joke about, getting attacked in Chicago and stuff. But, I've been walking in the city for 26 years. You got to keep your street smarts. Don't be a live streamer. Not everybody likes this stuff. I know. Here's hey, look at this. Look at this nice right here. How you doing? Appreciate it. Look at this. It shows the old. Okay, let me see if I can get this here. So you see, this is Lake Michigan, and that's what the Potawatomi called it. And this shows you some of the Native American villages and towns before the French, British, and American cultures came here and altered everything. And it's hard to tell here. That's what this rock shows right here. So here, that's good. So hey, see, look, that's what this is. The place of the wild onions. Talks about the indigenous history and the Potawatomi. I'm getting desensitized in my old age. People made threats. Some people for a few months there, Sarah can remember this, and maybe Chris and Anita, people would taunt me and heckle me every day for months on my original account, and they really were trying to get me to stop live streaming by like threatening me, and it got really strange there for a while, but thankfully that seems to be subsided a little bit here. So here we'll do a check on gas prices. Here's the BP here, $4.39. I know it's probably much more expensive than where you're at. People like to, I know we when I traveled to Texas, we saw how much cheaper gas prices were in Arkansas and Texas. So here's the Chicago History Museum. And Jen talks about this a lot here. You see they got this molten rock here while we're waiting for the light to change. We think this was a hardware store that got melted down and they put it here. There's like little bits of nails and screws and stuff in it. It was like brick and everything got melted down. Jen talks about the relic house. There used to be a relic house up there where Lincoln Park West splits off from Clark Street, and there was a beer garden and stuff, and they used to have a bunch of items that were saved from the Great Chicago Fire, and it was an historical exhibition there. But I don't know what happened to those items. We wonder that sometimes too. Here we're crossing LaSalle Street at Clark. Here's see, there's Abraham Lincoln. That's the Lincoln Hotel. We've been to that roof deck up there. We got videos on TikTok where we were at there's a rooftop bar up there. Here's Robert Cavalier de La Salle. De La Salle explored this area in the 1680s, where the French came after Joliet and Marquette, came through this area and saw the Mississippi, went down to New Orleans, I think. I'm not for sure about that. But here we'll head up along Clark Street here. How's everybody doing here? Yeah, so Robot, do you have some like prejudice against Northsiders? I grew up south of Chicago. I grew up in Indiana, so does that count? I do wear the Sox hat often, so I know you. No matter what I say, I'm not going to impress you. So, if you want to look down on me because I live on the north side and make yourself feel better, that's fine with me. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better. Put me down, make fun of me, show how much of a better human being you are by telling me how horrible person I am because I live on the north side of Chicago. Yeah, thanks a lot. Do I lose any sleep over this? No. It's part of the dynamic of Chicago. It's just friendly rivalry, most of it. And a lot of it is, the north side's gentrified, it's the expensive side. Horrible people like me, move to the city. We live on the north side, ruin Chicago for all the native Chicagoans that grew up on the south and west side and drive the prices up for everybody. So it's not the banks doing it to you. You're going to blame me. It's not Wall Street doing it to you. It's me. Even though I pay rent and I don't own the building I live in and I can't afford a car in this city and I get affected by inflation just like everybody else. I pay city taxes just like the south side and the west side, north side pays taxes too. You know, I rooted for the White Sox when they won in 2005, but I did root for the Cubs when they won in 2016 because, you know, I'm a horrible north sider, so sue me. Here's the Hotel Lincoln here, Clark Street. This church here, what is it, the Herman Baptist Church? Heron, what do they call it? But here, we'll head through Lincoln Park. I do go to the south side. We went and filmed Pullman. We filmed Hyde Park. If I filmed the south side every single day and moved to the south side, I would not be accepted by Southsiders or Westsiders. I truly believe that. And I'm saying this from somebody that's lived in Chicago for 20 years. I don't feel accepted on the north side. I don't feel accepted by Chicagoans. And can you believe that? I had that Chicago I had that agricultural guy. I can't win either way. The guy was blasting me because he thought I was on the other side of the political spectrum from him. He doesn't even know my politics. And he was like, you only live in Chicago, you haven't gone anywhere else. He doesn't realize the first half of my life, I did not live in Chicago. I lived in Indiana, I lived in Texas, I lived in Cincinnati, I lived in other areas of the country. And so that guy didn't know what he was talking about. So that's why I was happy to end our relationship, and hopefully we'll never cross paths again. But it's a consistent thing. I've been streaming for 2.5 years, and usually once or twice a day. It's a friendly rivalry. Somebody from the south or west side will bash me for simply living on the north side. They don't like the sound of my voice or what I cover. They don't like the fact I covered the Pride Parade, and they don't like I'm showing all these beautiful buildings. So we're used to it. Here's the Hotel Lincoln. Everybody's got their MO. You know, I've been going to 91st and Commercial since 1999. Does that count? No, that's the east side. And I take the Metro down there. We did community outreach in Inglewood. We did community parks for the kids in the neighborhood. Does that count? No. I filmed the Bud Billiken Parade. No, I'll never be accepted. You know, I'm an outsider. I'm not a true Chicagoan. I filmed actually, I did feel pretty welcome at the Mexican Independence Day Parade there on 26th Street. There were people in mass. There are real gangs down in that area, but thankfully I minded my own business. I just filmed the parade there like a tourist that I am, the forever tourist to Chicago that I'll never be accepted by Chicagoans. Here, let's head over to the South Pond, and here's the Grant statue. I don't feel accepted by Americans. You know, I got indigenous ancestors, Melungeon ancestors. I got long lost African American ancestors that became white people because of the horrible segregated racist history of our past. We know this. I acknowledge it. I'm not a black person. I'm not a Native American person. I'm a white person with freckles and red hair. I look like a Southside Irish person, even though I didn't grow up in Chicago. I'm mainly German heritage. But where am I going with this? I have ancestors who've been in this country for the entire period, and I have other Americans, mainly politicians, making me not feel like an American. What is that? If there's somebody bashing Chicago, it's another American. There's people that tune in from all over the country, all over the world. They say, you have a beautiful city. No one bashes me for walking around the north side from other parts of the world. They're like, you got a beautiful city there. Why don't you show it up? Why does everybody bash Chicago? Usually it's other Chicagoans bashing Chicago, people that moved away from the city, or other Americans. And I understand that the city has problems, but everybody has problems. Just the natural pessimism that we're dealing with in this day and age here. Here, look at the geese. Look at the geese here. So welcome to Lincoln Park here. We're at the South Pond. And here's the geese here. There's some young ones. The teenagers are getting old here. Here's the geese there. You see them, the little dinosaurs there roaming around here. Let's see if we see any turtles here. So here's the South Pond. Part of the North Pond here. Part of Lincoln Park. There's the North Pond and the South Pond. South Pond south of Lincoln Park Zoo. North Pond's north of Fullerton. Here they're heading to the water there. Here the march of the geese here. Let's see them go in here, take a swim. Yeah. So go to my TikTok check out, I've gone to O Block. No one watches the videos. I rode under 30, pinned at the top of my page there. I rode under the green line tracks there on a divvy bike. I raced the train. I filmed the King Von mural at 64th. People that long-term followers, every single day I got to say this thing. I know you're not going to go to my TikTok. You're not going to check out my videos of O Block because that's not why you're saying that. You're doing it just to troll me. I have gone to O Block. If I went to O Block every day, people would get tired of my channel. Here's most Chicagoans are so over it. When did Odie Perry die? It was 15 years ago. And seems to be the only thing we're known for is O Block and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan left a long time ago. Here's the Grant statue here in Lincoln Park. Yeah, I hear you, Dolores. I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying there. I can relate, Dolores. Yep, as an American. You're an American and I'm an American. And shows you the amount of manipulation that is going into our current politics, where they'll make you second guess your own freedoms, your own things like right to due process, not to be thrown in the back of a van by masked people that don't identify themselves. You know, I thought the police had to identify. We had these things called Miranda rights. Now, I know if you're not a U.S. citizen, you get in this murky area where if you're not a U.S. citizen, you don't have the same rights as the rest of us. But how do they know? Without due process. Could they throw us as American citizens in the back of vans without a trial, and then we wake up in a foreign country in a foreign prison? You know, these are questions, and I haven't gotten satisfactory answers from the people that are liking this ICE stuff. People that voted for it. They really don't care about these issues, which makes me worried for our country if they don't care about constitutional Bill of Rights issues. And so here, we'll, hey, something's going on there. Looks like they're filming over there. There's the tunnel for the Grant statue here. Here we're at the South Pond here. There's what it used to look like. Look, they used to have a train. Used to be able to row the boats there. I remember when I moved here, there were swan boats. Hey, the cows are out. Yeah, let's go out to the farm and the zoo here. So, Darkley, are you going to be the one to do it? Are you going to be the mass person that throws everybody in the van and take the risk? You know, someone has to take the risk to do it. How are you going to determine which ones are correct and which ones aren't? You know, it's going to cost a lot of money. Are you going to be willing to pay taxes? Are we willing to pay higher taxes for this? You know, the current president right now is making exemptions for people that work in Tyson's, chicken, farmers that hire migrant workers. The current president that you elected to do all this is now making exemptions because he realizes it's impacting our economy. And they can't go after law-abiding people even if they don't have, you know, they're undocumented, because they're an integral part of our economy, because capitalism has been exploiting these people for decades. And does Wall Street care about that? Do you care about that? You know, that your grocery prices are cheaper because it's based upon migrant, undocumented labor. You're willing for your food prices to go up, and who's going to do it? I guess robots. We're going to get AI to pick all our groceries. It already delivers it to our door, the stupid Coco driving around. Here's the farm and the zoo. Here's the farm and the zoo. There's the cow. Hey, there's the cow, the farm and the zoo. Check that out. Nature's Boardwalk here, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, we got this beautiful view. Let's check out the beautiful skyline view. Let's enjoy the day here. Got 107. I need to get back to work. We'll walk through the zoo really quickly, and then I'm gonna, once we get to the other side, we'll start winding this down there. Yeah, no trade deals. I guess Canada, you know, they relinquished on some item that was a sticking point, but yeah, I think China's making fun of us. I think China's laughing because they got some cards. Like how President Trump always says, we got all the cards. Well, China has some cards too. And that's what this is mainly about. Here's the look at the South Pond here. Look at the nice view to the Chicago skyline. Yeah, look at the moss. So there's the, look, they're having a picnic in there. They're in the Genie Gang Pavilion there. And look how you can look over to the Sears Tower here. Look at the beautiful Chicago skyline here, as seen from the bridge over the South Pond. There, see the Sears Tower there, right there. Yeah, you got to vote there. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, see, yeah, that's the. Yeah, we're a constitutional republic. We're not a true democracy. It's confusing. So here we'll head down past Cafe Briar here, and we'll head in one of the south gate here, the Lincoln Park Zoo. But hey, look at that skyline there. Thanks for being on, Christopher, and everybody else. Yeah, it is humid. It's pretty humid. Hey, how you doing there? Shit all. We all got to suffer. That's why this is a joke, and this is a bad joke. You know, I consistently, I'm against political violence, both on the left and the right. You know, one side doesn't justify the other. It's both wrong. But I often joke that God saved the current president to punish us. And don't think he wouldn't do that. Have you read the Old Testament? A lot of the Old Testament God was about punishment through leaders and kings, and yeah. Whether he's Cyrus or not, you know. I know about biblical prophecy. I read the book of Revelation. I know how it all ends. So let's enjoy ourselves while we still can and get right with the Lord. Here's, hey, look at this comfort station. Look at this comfort station here in Lincoln Park. Look how the moss is growing on the wood shingles there on the roof. Here's Cafe Briar. Look at the nice landscaping all around here. See, we're at the north end of South Pond. There's still nice views here. We'll walk right through the zoo. Yeah, Michael, thanks for tuning in there. Like the flags. So, there are beavers in this pond, turtles, lots of ducks, geese. We've seen swallows. I see little dragonflies flying here now. We got these mossy islands, green islands, algae plume here. They turned on the waterfall, so hopefully that'll help. Hopefully it aerates. Here's Cafe Briar. They're not open on Monday, so I guess they're open on weekends, and Monday they're not open here. But the zoo's open, so we're gonna walk through the zoo. We'll see if the flamingos are out. Thanks everybody for sticking on here. Thanks everybody for watching the live stream here. There's that skyline view there. We'll frame it here, and we'll show you this waterfall. Yeah, Christians are loved. There you go. We've been filming the churches. See, I've showed some of the beautiful churches there in Bucktown. Other areas of the city here. How you doing? Yeah, look at this amazing view here. Right here from the north end of South Pond. We'll frame that skyline view there. And we were just on that bridge. And if you look here, this is an artificial waterfall, but they did a pretty good job making it look as naturalistic as possible. Here's a waterfall here as you enter the Lincoln Park Zoo from the South Pond here. San Diego. Yeah, because of the gangs there. No, I know it's real. It's real. The gangs are real in Chicago, and I am privileged because in my normal day I don't have to encounter that, and I am lucky and fortunate, and that's why people rightly make fun of the north side. There are gangs in Chicago, but they're mainly on the south and west side. I have gone in areas where are controlled by gangs. I've gone to O Block, and it is certainly still, there are still gangs in the area. There's gangs certainly in Little Village. I went there for the Mexican Independence Day on 26th Street. I filmed the Shameless House there in Lawndale, the true west side, the true south side of Chicago. So I'm not discounting it at all. I'm not trying to, it's just, that's why I get taunted, because yes, I am lucky and fortunate that I can afford to have an expensive apartment on the north side, and it doesn't totally make me immune, but you know, there's still crime that happens all over the city. Do I have to list the people that were shot or murdered or killed near where I live? I don't want to depress everybody, because it is part of living in the big bag city. But what am I going to do? Dwell on it, talk about it all the time, exploit it? You know, I'm not part of that culture, you know. There's other Chicagoans that have a more authentic experience. People that grew up in Chicago, people that grew up in Chatham and Inglewood, like Keys Impact. Watch Big Glacier Keys or Keys Impact. Keys Carter. He's the guy says this is what real Chicago food looks like. Watch him. He's a true native Chicagoan. Grew up on the South Side. I had the fortune of meeting him at the Taste of Chicago. Watch Nia Azel. Watch Jay City Walking Girl. Watch Vicky. Vicky streams on 26th Street. Watch Ernie. Watch Chicago Nuggies. Watch Edwin. There was other. Watch Drew Drzezinskis. Drew Drzezinskis, he films on the South Side. He grew up, he lives out by Joliet there, out by Grim Evil, but he has memories of going to the old Comiskey before they tore it down. Here's the flamingos. Here's the flamingos in Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, I filmed the tourist area of Chicago. I know, I admit it. I'm not trying to act like somebody I'm not. I don't know what the deal is here. Here's the flamingos, Lincoln Park Zoo. Look how the seagulls always try to steal their food. But here's the flamingos hanging out here. Hey, there's some over there. Look at the beautiful landscaping here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Chilean flamingo. There it is. Hey, they're all over there. There's the flamingos. We spotted them. Yeah, see you, Taco. See you, Christopher. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day there. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know people got to get back to work. That's why I usually try to hit this lunch window. I'm almost home here. We'll head through the other eye of the zoo. I'll be streaming for about another 5 minutes here. So, thanks, everybody, for joining in here. Yeah, Steve Lyon's great. We got to meet Steve Lyon there on Friday. Did you see that? It's in some of Ernie's reruns there. Friday night, we were at Oak Street Beach. Steve Lyon stopped by. There might have been some other Chicago live streamers that would have joined us, but they needed more notice. They didn't hear about it until it was already happening there. I almost missed it too. I just happened to see Nick Koikens and Overtime Sebs there had a poster, Miami Vice. Yeah, Steve Lyon's great. We were talking about how he got into live streaming, and Ernie too. It was great to see that. And we saw Nicholas, the 30-second news, internet news break there. He's a professional, works for CBS News there. Award-winning journalist there. I was trying to pick his brain about if TikTok was the new journalism, gonzo journalism, or what it pretends for his type of journalism, the true professionals that try to be objective and source their materials. Yeah, Channel 2 News. Yeah, he's from Channel 2 News there. That's I forget his last name there. It's Nicholas. He starts with an A. His last name there. Does anybody know his last name there? Channel 2 News. He's the on TikTok. He's the 30-second internet news break there, and the Internet News Network here. So here we'll go by the seals here. Here's the main area for the Lincoln Park Zoo here. And I know it's frustrating for people that live in the west and south side. They see all us live streamers streaming downtown in the north side, and it's not I'll be the first to admit, this doesn't represent the full city of Chicago. It's just a small portion of it. And I just happen to live in the touristy, expensive areas of Chicago, so this is what's easy for me to film. And the only reason I can afford to live in this area is I don't have a car. If I had a car, I wouldn't be able to afford it. Trust me, I can barely afford my rent as it is, and I've been living here for 26 years. Hey, there's the seal. Look at the seal there. Hey, it's coming around there. It goes back under there. There's a seal over there. So here, welcome to the Lincoln Park Zoo here. We're just checking out the seals there. Yeah. Here, we'll head out of here. This is where the heron's nest above the wolves over here. You can go underneath, underwater viewing of the seals. Lincoln Park Zoo. I would stay longer, but we might hit this later this week. We'll see if we do any streaming from home, working from home or not this week as we head towards the 4th of July long weekend on Friday, starting Friday. There at Lincoln Park Zoo, 365. It's only closed, I think, Christmas, and it's only 2 days of the year it's closed. Chris, how you doing there? Mr. Mando, how you doing there? Yeah, nice meetup at the beach. You see that, Michael? Yeah, thanks for being a part of it. Alda, how you doing there? Pamela, yeah, nice picture. We finally got the resolution better. Here's the Schiller statue. And see, look, this is the nice formal planting garden just north of the Stockton entrance to the Lincoln Park Zoo. And Stockton's right there. You can catch the 151 to 156 bus. That's that housing there on Lincoln Park West. But here we got some nice landscaping here. And we'll head up through past the flowers here. Go past the fountain here. Peaches Jones. She lives on the south side. Good. Yeah, we'll check out Peaches Jones. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for the good info. See, my brain is constantly learning of. I'm not aware of everything going on. We run into new live streamers all the time there. Yeah, check out Peaches Jones there, south side, and visits around the stream. That's great. That's awesome. Thanks for the good information there, Michael. Every day people send me new live streamers. I usually follow them all, especially if they're based in Chicago. Yeah, even like Alexander Chicago. I didn't even know he was streaming. He's got like a pretty good following, and it just shows you how you can be in different silos within the network there. And we like discovered each other. Here's the fountain here, Lincoln Park, Chicago, in front of the zoo here. No eyebrows. Yeah, I had aunts like that, like in the 50s and 60s. That was like Marilyn Monroe and other people would do that. They would pluck out their eyebrows and paint them on. Remember that? And so you had to paint. You literally had to paint on your face. You had to paint on your eyebrows. That was it. And some of my aunts still do it to this day. They still paint on their eyebrows because once you start that, you got to keep going. Hey, look at the flowers here. Yeah, look at this nice view here. See, you get to John Hancock back to this. But public trains to different parts of the city. That's great. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah. Isn't that nice? Yeah, we got so many great Chicago-based live streamers. And that's what we need. More perspectives. I don't represent this whole city. I just represent my little window of the world. I experience the city different than other people. You know, I am not a native Chicago, and I've been here for 26 years. But then I have that perspective, you know, as coming here from someone that didn't grow up here. And so I got the experience of, you know, what that's like. But we got other people that are native Chicagoans, lived here their whole life. And they know things that I don't know. And I appreciate sharing the knowledge here. So here, we'll head through this tunnel. We'll get you up to the Billy Shakespeare statue. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Sorry, I digress there. We get the same questions usually once a day or several times a day. We get asked to go to O Block. I have gone to O Block. It doesn't matter how many times I go there or not. People still ask it. It's more to troll me for living on the north side. I learned a lot about the drill hip hop culture and music through that, which is good. People troll me about politics. That's par for the course. We live in a very divided. It doesn't matter which side of the political spectrum. I'll get trolled from the left. I'll get trolled from the right, and I'm used to it. Part of being an American nowadays is that's why so many Americans regretfully do not enjoy talking about politics, refrain from talking about politics, which is one of the chilling consequences of the age we live. Because if you don't turn on to politics, politics will turn on you, and that's the nature of you know, then either party can get away with stuff because people aren't engaged. They tune in, drop out, and then they can ram through laws, and then you're like, how did this law happen? I didn't vote for this. And it's because they wore us down and demoralized us to where we just accept whatever corporate lobbyist, buyer government write the laws, and they pass the laws and put in these big giant bills that add to the national deficit and cut our Medicaid. And maybe you voted for that, but you might need that someday. Here's the Billy Shakespeare statue here, William Shakespeare statue here in Lincoln Park, Chicago. Dan Cruz went to find the one in London. There's like and it was under construction there, but Dan Cruz does the great videos with the drone there, Humboldt Park area and other areas of the city. So hey, we're all connected. Here's the squirrel. Hey, look at these beautiful flowers here. I just love the naturalistic plantings. Look how nice this looks with the orange. I call these witchy fingers, but you know, as kids we would pluck those and put them on our fingers and say we had witchy fingers, but it's not exactly what type of flowers. Snapdragons, what type of flowers are these? I'm not good with my names here, but look how they got the lavender. The bees like it. I see some bees there. Yeah, this is Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. This is Lincoln Park. And Lincoln Park is larger than Central Park. It runs along the north side between the lake and several neighborhoods. And we just went through the Lincoln Park Zoo. I'm going to sign off here. We'll be streaming later today on TikTok, weather permitting. I'm going to go back to work here and work from home and get some stuff done. So thanks for tuning in here. We'll just show you these flowers here. Yeah, nice place there. Thanks, Badar, and everybody else there. Christy, Michael. Yeah, the day lilies. Day lilies. Okay, these are day lilies. Yeah, these orange things. Thanks for the good information there, Michael. Yeah, day lilies. You got the Solomon's lace or whatever that is. And I don't know all the technical names. Here's some yellow daisies or something. Look at them, the naturalistic tall grass prairies. So we'll be able, you know, there'll be more of this around the South Pond and the North Pond. They got some tall grass prairie areas that they preserve here now or try to cultivate. So hey, have a good rest of your day there. Thanks everybody. Thanks mods. We'll see you on TikTok after 5 tonight. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you later there. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. All right, bye.